Hey guys, and welcome back to the second HellfireComms Disneython. I'm here today with X-Gamer Richie, and we're here to check out a very unique film. Why is it unique? Well, this is the very last film before the Disney Renaissance kicked things into high gear. I am speaking, of course, of Oliver and Company. And we're just going to get right on into it. Everything you guys will need to sync stuff up is in the video description, so check that out if you're having any trouble. As for Richie and myself, we're going to get right on into it. In 3, 2, 1. Okie dokie, Oliver and Company came out in the year of my glorious birth, 1988, and haven't seen this in probably the same amount of time, honestly, roughly about 27 years.
Yeah, it's weird that I've got memories of this as a child, but obviously it's because of the whole Disney re-releasing all of their stuff during the 90s. I mean, it was re-released 1996. So I was 2 at that point.
Bit odd seeing the Twin Towers here, I'm not gonna lie. Gave me a bit of a pause.
I know, it's odd to think of how old this film is, and obviously seeing that, we're in a world post 9/11 now, so it's always odd seeing New York City pre the noughties.
So why did you pick Oliver and Company exactly? Because it's not something I would have put on like my list of films for a Disney fund.
Well, I mean, being real, we have had a bit of problems, well, a few problems with some of the films we've chosen. So we needed something to fill out the gaps, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for Oliver. Like, it's a bit of a crappy film in certain aspects. I mean, I remember rewatching it, a few months ago and just thinking, some of these scene changes do not make sense. There are massive gaps
like
in the narrative of this film.
Just do not work at points.
Yeah, but I'm quite fond of the soundtrack, and it's quite cute.
Yeah, and you know, it's based on classic Dickens stuff, because obviously Oliver and Company, Oliver Twist.
Indeed, yes. Although, basically the only thing it shares with Oliver is the fact of some character names and some character motivations. And that is basically it.
I would be surprised if Charles Dickens had the foresight to, you know, write an alternate version of Oliver Twist where Oliver was a cat, you know?
No, I don't think that was quite his scene.
Now, as a cat lover and owner of more than a few, scenes like this always tug at my heartstrings. You may think I have no heart after so many years of retakes grinding it down, but no, deep down in the pitch blackness there's still a glimmer of light, much like Kingdom Hearts. You open the door and it's there for some reason.
But also, I mean, Oliver is just the most adorable cat ever. I mean, just look at him.
Aww. Oh no, I'm getting emotional! Oh, that was very nearly a bad start to a beloved Disney film.
It's fine, we've killed off parents before, so...
True, yeah.
Killing off the hero would just be the next step. Really.
Yeah, Jesus, like... Disney hates parents, you know? I'm starting to think some of the script writers or animators or maybe everyone involved had bad childhoods.
Well, I mean, apparently, because, you know, dead parents are all the rage in Disney films, under the original working title of the film, Oliver and the Dodger, the film was originally much darker and grittier, with the film opening with the two Dobermans that we're going to meet later in the film murdering Oliver's parents.
Oh no, I'm glad they skipped that, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so basically it was going to be more of a revenge tale than anything else.
I just want to see a scene of, Oliver sneaking up behind the Doberman with a fucking knife and shivving him.
I think it's quite an interesting one, like the story of how they got to Oliver, because I think after the release of The Black Cauldron in 1985, and obviously it wasn't the biggest success in the world,
well,
quite
mate,
a flop.
It's like calling the first nuclear bomb a mild surprise, you know? A lot of fallout due to it.
Yeah, so Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg invited the animators to pitch potential ideas for upcoming animated features, infamously called The Gong Show. after Ron Clements and John Musker suggested The Little Mermaid and Treasure Island in space, animator Pete Young suggested Oliver Twist with dogs. And since Katzenberg originally intended to produce a live-action adaptation of the musical Oliver at Paramount Pictures, he approved the pitch. And obviously they were going to do it originally as this Oliver and the Dodger, but then they changed things as they went along, because I think George Scribner and Richard Rich were announced as the directors of the project, while Pete Young was appointed as story supervisor. Rich then left the project about 6 months into production, leaving Scribner as the sole director, and in the adaptation that then followed, Scribner turned Oliver into a naive kitten, and followed on from there.
It kind of works thematically.
It does, yes, because it makes it cements Oliver as being an outsider.
And if you've got a heart, it makes the audience sympathise and empathise with his plight.
Exactly, because he's stupidly cute.
So answer me this: what era of New York City does this take place in? Because I'm seeing elements of the 80s, but also a bit of 90s flair.
I would say 80s because it's. The film was released in 1989, so this is basically 80s New York. Because it was contemporary, or trying to be anyway. It's obviously since then gotten quite dated, but it's still quite fun. And also, another reason that it's quite interesting is that the traditional animation in this film was handled by the next generation of Disney animators. So, obviously you had the original 9 old men, who did all of the traditional animation for Disney for the early years. They retired in the early 1980s. So you had the next generation take on this film. So you had Glenn Keane, Ruben A. Aquino, Mike Gabriel, Hendel Butoy, and Mark Henn.
Fucking Dodger. I love it.
Dodger.
Bit of voice acting trivia now. We had Joey Lawrence as Oliver, who I'm not sure where I've heard him from before. Let's have a look here. We've got I'm not seeing a lot besides Oliver and Company, but
He was in a Goofy movie.
Was he?
Yes, as Chad, apparently.
Oh, one of the jocks, I think. I'm not really sure why they got Billy Joel, of all people, for Dodger. Maybe they just wanted someone who was naturally gifted at singing, because there are quite a few songs in the movie.
Well, why the hell would you not? You have the opportunity of getting Billy Joel. Damn well you get him in.
Yeah, you gotta go for an uptown guy, so to speak.
I mean, they got a few really good performers in this film.
Yeah. They didn't start the fire, but the guys came to put it out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, probably also part of the reason why they went with Billy Joel is because he is a New Yorker.
Oh yeah, there you go. A bit of, hometown flair.
Yeah, he's from the Bronx.
Okay.
So, he's very New York. And I think that's probably the case for quite a few of the actors in the film.
But I kind of like that, actually. Play to the strengths.
Richard Mulligan, who is a character that we'll meet later, he's from the Bronx as well. Roscoe Lee Brown isn't, but he's from New Jersey. We've got the wonderful Bette Midler. And while she's not born, while she wasn't born in New York, obviously she spent quite a lot of time in New York.
What I wouldn't give to taste an authentic New York hot dog. I bet they're delish.
I think I'd probably steer clear of that, actually, to be fair.
God damn, man. We apologise to New Yorkers listening to this commentary on the small off chance that any are and get offended. Oh, he's not going to share those sausages, Oliver. You should be more wise, mate, although they did cast for a naive ginger kitten, not a smart ginger kitten.
Yeah, I mean, Oliver just doesn't have that street savoir-faire.
What the fuck does that mean?
So basically, it's the ability to act or speak appropriately in social situations.
Okay, so being savvy.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
It's basically also being adaptable.
Mm.
And that sort of thing.
Dodger is that, if nothing else. That's why he's survived so long.
And also, I mean, savoir-faire literally is know how to do.
Mm.
Oh, this song.
Oh my god, this... I don't know, actually, if I'd put this in my top 10 Disney songs, but Jesus, if it comes on, I'm listening to it from beginning to end, you know?
Oh, it is up there. If it's not in the top 10, it's certainly in the top 25.
For sure, I need to write down my top... I like lists. You guys should know this by now. I love cataloguing stuff. Maybe it's due to, like, whatever form of OCD I have. I just find it entertaining.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Disney songs, I just don't think I'd ever be able to pick a favourite, because I just love so many of them.
Well, you're addicted to, at the time of this recording, Moana came out recently, or is coming out soon, and...
At the time of recording, it's out in a couple of days in America, and it's out in a couple of weeks in the UK.
Uh-huh.
But I'm already addicted to the soundtrack, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
But yeah, oh my god, Billy Joel, such a good get for this movie, because I kind of, like, grew up listening to his stuff without realising what a big, like, sort of, like, guy he was in the music scene, so, they're kind of, like, going back and retroactively understanding his work is kind of, like, it's nice, you know?
Oh, definitely. And also, this is just such a catchy song.
Oh, yeah.
And also, it's got a great message as well. It's just one of those songs where you just go, F the world, don't care, I'm just gonna be me. Why the hell should I worry?
Well, if you look at it from the other side of the coin, fuck you got mine is a terrible way to live with other people.
Yeah, it's true.
Now, if you look carefully, I believe you'll see other Disney dogs throughout either this scene or the rest of the movie. I know Pongo turns up at one point.
Oh, definitely during this sequence. Definitely during this sequence.
I think we saw Pongo's owner, like, near the start of the film, where Oliver's being chased by the dogs and whatnot.
Probably. I mean, they obviously... Era of Disney reusing assets, they were quite cheap during this era of Disney. There's already 2 dogs from Lady and the Tramp. You had the Scotty, there's Pongo.
Yeah, those are the kind of cameos I like, actually.
Yes. You also had the, I don't know what type of dog it is, but it's the one who sings, He's a Tramp.
But they love him. I don't know if we'll be doing Lady and the Tramp in this marathon, but it'll definitely be in the next one, most likely. I mean, we're just whittling down films here. We're eventually going to have to cover all of them.
I know, in trying to find replacements for films where we're just like, we haven't done a good take on that one, let's just leave it for today. It's kind of like going, done that one.
Yep.
Done that one.
Oh, yeah.
Done that one.
Richie hated that one, so let's just skip over it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the hand-drawn classic animation of this movie.
Oh, it's lovely.
Alright, we're going down to the docks and whatnot. God, look at this place. Bit of a shithole. Who would live in a place like this? Well, some of our protagonists, actually.
Well, actually, 90% of our protagonists.
90% of the cast, yeah.
Tito.
Uh-huh.
Tito is glorious.
Cheech Marin plays Tito, I believe.
Indeed he does. And obviously you should recognise Cheech Marin for being in various other Disney things, i.e. being Banzai the Hyena in The Lion King. He's also Felix Gum, or Uncle Felix, in the Spy Kids films.
Uh-huh.
Which is just dead cool. He's also Ramon in the Cars films.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he's been in another Disney film, but I can't seem to see it on here, but I might be completely wrong.
Such a stereotype. I kind of enjoy it, actually.
Well, it's a stereotype that knows it's a stereotype. And that's why it gets away with it. It's also because all of the dogs are stereotypes.
Basically, yeah, you got this fucking boxer here, like oh, I'm proper and whatnot.
Yes, he's a British bulldog. So he's British, obviously.
Of course.
So yeah, he's voiced by Roscoe Lee Brown. And he does a very good job.
Yeah, that's all we have to say. End of statement.
Although it's quite funny because obviously Roscoe Lee Brown is from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And yet he does a rather wonderful British accent.
I guess they just wanted, like, something to break up all the Americanness of this, and if you ever want to do that, just put an Englishman in, boom, sticks out like a sore thumb.
Does a pretty damn good job. So yes, here we have Rita, who is an Afghan hound, actually. And she is voiced by Cheryl Lee Ralph. Has actually done quite a bit of theatre, I think, and also some films. So she was in Sister Act 2.
My favourite Sister Act.
And various other things, as well as being on stage. She's actually, I think, either currently or this year, has been in Wicked.
Nice. Richie loves a bit of Wicked, so he does.
Of course I love a bit of Wicked. It's glorious.
What about the lovable, dumb, big old grey dog, mate? What's he all about?
So, the Grey Great Dane is Einstein. And he is voiced by Richard Mulligan, who I did mention just before. He's best known for his role as Bert Campbell on the sitcom Soap.
Okay.
And also having the starring role as Dr. Harry Weston in Empty Nest.
I was hoping like a familiar name would come up there, but no dice, I'm afraid.
Well, if you bear with me a little second, I might be able to find something.
It's all good, mate, it's all good.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. He was Jimmy Kafka in Hey Arnold for an episode.
Okay.
But that's about your lot, actually, because he died in 2000.
Oh, we had to end it on a depressing note, didn't we?
I know. I mean, he only did 2 films after Oliver. One, and both of them being TV films, so Oliver was his last, like, theatrical film release.
Ooh. The truth's gonna come to light. Dodger, did you use a kitten, not even a full-grown cat, a kitten, to get the food?
Yes, he did.
Look at that smug motherfucker.
I have to say, I do quite like this representation of the Artful Dodger. Because obviously, we're dealing with Oliver Twist with dogs here, so most of the main characters are representations of characters from Oliver Twist.
Do we have any direct comparisons here?
Well, so, obviously, Oliver is Oliver.
Oh, well, no, you don't say. I thought he was Fagin.
Dodger is the Artful Dodger.
Of course.
We are going to come across Fagin.
Okay.
We are going to come across Sykes. But then none of the other characters really are present. I mean, so you have a character who is perhaps Nancy, but she isn't really Nancy.
Okay.
And I'm trying to look to see if there's any characters that look like they fit what her role in the film is when we eventually meet her. But I cannot see anything.
It's okay, mate. Leave well enough alone.
So this is Fagin.
Played by the wonderful Dom DeLuise.
Oh, hell yes. He's not quite the Fagin that most people would recognise from original Oliver Twist.
Yeah, he's a lot nicer, for one thing.
He's a lot more lovely. He's just down on his luck, doing what he can, whereas Fagin of Oliver Twist is, well, he perhaps tries to do well for his gang. He's pretty nasty.
Manipulative little shit every time, or every version of Twist that I've watched, honestly.
Yeah, he's a self-confessed miser who does very little to improve the squalid lives of the children he guards. So he doesn't really care about their welfare, he just sort of uses them, but then he does sort of care about them at the same time. So he's a complicated man, shall we say.
So who's Sykes exactly? I always forget his role in the Oliver Twist mythos.
So, Bill Sykes is... So he's a career criminal associated with Fagin. And he's pretty nasty. So his girlfriend is Nancy. But he basically abuses her.
Okay.
Vile man. And he actually owned a bull terrier named Bullseye, who he beats until the dogs need stitches. So,
right, okay.
He's a very violent man.
Well, I suppose, like, setting Oliver and Company, you know, with all these talking animals and whatnot makes sense, but I'm not sure if that side of Sykes comes across.
No, it doesn't really. He's obviously evil. He's clearly the villain of the piece. But he's more of an evil businessman.
He's a debt collector, essentially.
Yeah. Whereas the Sykes of the original novel is very underworld-y.
Yeah.
And he's prone to sudden outbursts and extreme behaviour. Like, he just snaps. And, I mean, that's basically, I think, the entire point of one part of the novel, and also, obviously, the musical. Because, obviously, because if I recall correctly in the musical, Nancy sings "If He Needs Me," or "As Long as He Needs Me," and then, essentially, immediately afterwards, Sykes murders her. Very gruesome and graphic in the novel. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, one of the most graphic and frightening scenes Dickens ever wrote.
Damn.
So, the Sykes of the novel and so on is not a good man.
Okay, I think we've clearly established that by this point.
Yeah. And I think he's not quite... Well, he's much more terrifying than this rendition of Sykes.
Not the best Disney villain is the Oliver and Company version of Sykes, to be frank.
No, I mean, that's pretty much the case with most of Oliver and Company. It's alright.
It's charming.
I've got a fondness for it because it's adorable and it's part of my childhood and yada 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 yada. But when you look at it with a critical eye, it doesn't make sense.
And, you know, it was the final film of the pre-Disney Renaissance era, so no matter whether you like it or not, it just came and went, really, and got steamrolled by everything that came after it.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, it did actually debut at number 1, grossing $7.5 million. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh no, that's me getting it wrong. So, it opened in the same week as Don Bluth's The Land Before Time.
Oh, Jesus.
Which debuted at number 1, grossing $7.5 million.
I was gonna say.
Whereas Oliver and Company opened at 4th, grossing $4 million. However, over time, Oliver and Company outgrossed The Land Before Time with a domestic gross estimate of $53 million compared to $46 million that Land Before Time raised.
Take that, Bluth. That'll teach you to leave Disney.
And because it was actually successful, Peter Schneider, who was Disney's then Senior Vice President of Animation, announced the company's plans to release animated features annually.
Nice.
So essentially that was the start of their annual film releases. And I think, for some bizarre reason, it's because they re-released the film in cinemas. On March 29th, 1996, and it went in direct competition with All Dogs Go to Heaven 2.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I think it still did okay, and in its total box office lifetime, Oliver and Company made a total domestic gross of $74 million at the box office.
Respectable.
But it didn't do... It got mixed reviews from critics, as you'd expect.
Well, I would firmly put it in the C tier, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, so the consensus, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes is Oliver and Company is decidedly lesser effort in the Disney canon, with lackluster songs, stiff animation, and a thoroughly predictable plot. Which I think is probably pretty apt, although I would say that while quite a few of its songs are perhaps lackluster. There are at least two, which I would say are... Yeah, there are at least two which I would say get into excellent Disney. One of them being Why Should I Worry? Because it's glorious.
Let me guess, is the other one sung by Bette Midler's character?
Hell yes it is!
I thought so.
Because that's just a perfect song for that character.
Oh, they're all one big family, Richie.
Rather horrendously, I'm thinking, 2 worlds, 1 family.
Oh boy, how I wish we were watching Tarzan again. Damn, dude. Keep your tongue in your mouth. I'll wait, you can't, you're a dog. Don't have any sweat glands, that's how you release pressure and whatnot. I'm not here to teach you science about dogs. That you take me for.
I'm not going into the Wikipedia page for dogs. I've done some crazy Wikipedia searches for information in my time. I'm not going as general as dogs.
Fair enough, mate. What about cats and dogs?
No, please don't. Well, I've got fond memories of that film when I was younger, but it's awful.
Did they make a sequel to that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, well, I like the original, so I'm going to keep my memories intact. Question for you, Richie. What other films in the Disney animated canon, I guess we can throw Pixar in there as well if you like, maybe not centre around, like, animals and whatnot, but feature them heavily, do you like more than Oliver and Company?
Ooh, that's a toughie. Just having a look. Well, Zootopia.
Well, that's cheating, I think. They're more furries than anything.
That's definitely cheating. Robin Hood?
Same as Zootopia, you cheater.
101 Dalmatians is definitely a better film.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Definitely a better film. Fox and the Hound is also, I would say, a better film, but it's one that I would say is not necessarily as watchable as Oliver.
It's much drier than Oliver and Company.
It's much drier, it's much more sobering than Oliver, and it's one where you leave feeling quite emotional. Oh my god, Lion King. Obviously.
There you go, the pinnacle of the talking animal films.
Yeah, that's like the best one of talking animals that Disney have ever done, to date anyway.
Like top 3, I would say, if you want to include Zootopia, The Lion King, Zootopia, and Bolt.
Yeah, I was never that much of a fan of Bolt.
Okay.
I'd probably shove Brother Bear in there, but then if you're talking Brother Bear, then you're probably also talking Tarzan, because they both have animals taking up most of the film, but then also being humans quite involved.
I think like even McDonald's or Burger King or one of the fast food chains did an Oliver and Company tie-in, because I seem to remember like you could get a version of Fagin and the dogs all in that like cart thingamabob.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, I sense another song approaching. We have the full animal cast here.
Yes, and this is going to be quite a fun song. Comes out of nowhere.
Jesus, Rhea, you sound pretty different there. Are you segueing into your singing voice?
Yes. So Rita's singing voice is Ruth Pointer.
Okay, so a completely different person.
Yeah, from the Pointer Sisters.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yes, so they were R&B/soul vocal group.
This is a pretty decent song, I'll give it that.
It is quite good, yes. I don't think it's quite as memorable as the other two, but it's still damn fun. It's like I would say, there are there's one bad song in Oliver and Company.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about as well.
Yeah, but the rest of them are lovely and catchy and quite fun.
Jesus, Oliver, you have the worst look in this movie, mate. Oh, he's going native.
He's going native.
Oh, we have a mark. Jesus, the Latino is in charge of hacking the cars. Okay, not saying anything. You know, he plays a fucking lowrider in Cars.
Oh, God.
How do you feel about this, then? The scams that they have to pull?
Well, I mean, to be fair, it wouldn't be an Oliver Twist story if they didn't.
True.
Because that's what Fagin has them do. He has them pickpocket and do all sorts of illegal activities to get by. And, oh, Jenny.
Are you a fan or nay?
I mean, she's cute, but no.
Well, she's one step above that shrieking little harpy in the first Rescuers. The fucking cutesy pie boys. Well, I kind of segmented into Donald. No, not Donald, fucking. Actually, yeah, a cross between Donald and Gollum, I think.
Yeah, I don't get the point of Jenny. Because, like, she doesn't... There are no Oliver Twist characters that she is based on.
Well, not everything has to be a straight adaptation.
Yeah, but if you're going for it, then you might as well go with it. I mean, you would hope that they would go, like, at least call her Jenny Brownlow or something.
Well, she's from a well-to-do family, isn't she?
Yeah, but, like, because I think at the end of Oliver Twist, Oliver gets adopted by Mr. Brownlow.
I don't think I've ever watched or read Oliver Twist all the way through. I keep getting it mixed up with Great Expectations.
Yeah, I don't... And, like, I'm pretty sure that I have watched Oliver the Musical. I've not watched anything else, but it's been a very long time since I did that. So my knowledge of Oliver Twist is pretty shaky.
Well, we're like 10 days away from December at the time of recording, so maybe they'll play it over Christmas.
Perhaps. But then they're also, going to be playing Christmas Carol. Obviously. And they might do Great Expectations, but then they did an adaptation of Great Expectations the other year, I think. So that's probably not going to pop back for a little bit.
There was also that one, like, drama series, which I think combined all the Charles
Dickensian.
Yeah, my mum was a big fan of that, actually.
Yeah, I think my dad quite enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I remember watching the first episode and just being like, I'm not feeling this. It's because I'm not really the biggest Dickens fan.
Okay.
Like, went to the college... Oh, no. Darwin, not Dickens.
There you go. Duh. Finally, you are the one who is wrong.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, his books have always... Like, I look at them and I'm just like, they're freaking huge. And also, they're very dense.
Yeah, it's like Order of the Phoenix times 100.
Yeah, so they're books that I've kind of always gone, should read. I think I'm going to wash my hair that day. So I've kind of always avoided it a little bit. I mean, the one time at uni where I did have to deal with Dickens, I was a bit of a cheapskate. Because, I mean, I had 2 other books to deal with that week. So the subject of my essay was beginnings and endings. And...
Fuck.
Oh, this song.
Jesus. Why would someone spend so much money on their dog like this?
Tom?
Uh-huh.
You're talking about rich people.
True, but they seem to treat her better than their own daughter.
Well, when you've got a pedigree dog who is also a Broadway singer, really, you need to work with that.
You're mixing film stuff with meta stuff here. You're crossing the streams. It's like, darling, is Bette Midler doing okay? Let me just go and check on her.
Oh, but yeah, this is just... It's a ridiculous song, but it's so much fun. And also, it's so vain.
Yeah, I found it to be a bit over-the-top and self-indulgent, to be honest.
That's the entire point of it.
I know, but sometimes it can get a little bit abrasive, so to speak.
That is also the point.
Shut up!
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw Scooby-Doo in one of those pictures.
You probably... Yes. In the bottom right corner, I believe. It's a nice touch.
So, what else do we know Bette Midler from?
Well, Bette Midler has done a lot of stuff.
Is she still with us?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. Cool.
She's still just killing it. She's amazing.
Nice.
So she's performed in multiple Broadway shows, including Fiddler on the Roof and Salvation.
Uh-huh.
She's also had numerous solo albums. So she sang Wind Beneath My Wings and many other things. And then she's also been in quite a few films. I mean, one of them being Gypsy, which is Stephen Sondheim musical that was turned into a film.
Uh-huh.
And she was also in Hocus Pocus.
Yep.
As the evil witch.
Oh, yeah, of course. She reprised that role for a fantasy dress party, I believe, recently.
Yes,
which was pretty
and also
cool.
on stage, in her concert.
Oh, that's awesome.
She loves it.
Hocus Pocus is an underrated movie, in my opinion.
I've still not actually watched it. I feel bad.
Well, come next Halloween, you and me will watch it together.
But yes, she's done a lot of musical things.
The classic Disney Bluebirds bopping about, helping her.
You couldn't not do that, really.
God damn. So fierce. I can't stand it.
So fierce and so over the top, and it's ridiculous, and I love it so much.
Why am I getting flashbacks to the Tom and Jerry movie at this portion of the film?
I have no idea, because there's a mess, because there's cats.
Well, there's a kitchen sequence where something along these lines happens. You know, Tom and Jerry, they get taken to a rich person's house. And there's a little girl in that one as well. What the fuck?
Well, clearly they were copying Oliver and Company.
Yeah, well, Pat Carroll plays the villain in that movie.
Ah.
Yeah, and there's Tony J there as well.
Oh, wow.
We've got to have money. Yeah, that's Tony J. Oh, Jesus. She's gonna see the cat and she's gonna flip. What? Something isn't about me for once?
I know, someone's eating out of my bowl.
Oh, Jesus. I will eat this cat. Actually, I'll get someone to pay for someone else to eat this cat for me. Ooh, the tension right there. A bitch. That's the darker version of Oliver the Cat.
It's also the line's actually correct.
Yeah.
I suppose that's Disney being subtle. Is that Georgette is both literally and figuratively a bitch.
Okay, Richard. Oh, it's a good job that fucking... What was her name? Jenny?
Jenny.
Can't hear animals speak, because goddamn, if these wolves could talk... Oh god, now the wolves are talking! Jesus! Someone get an exorcist!
I still don't get why they didn't just call Jenny Nancy.
Well, you know what happened to her and the fucking...
Well,
original?
yes, I know. Viciously murdered.
Yeah, we don't need to end a Disney film with a beloved, cute child character being viciously murdered, alright?
Yes, this is true. But, it just tie it all together. She's the ginger-headed girl in bloody Oliver.
There's a few gingers in this film. We have Oliver, we've got Tito, we've got, Fagin, I guess.
Yes. They really liked their ginger.
Yeah, there's a lot of redheads throughout Disney history, and they all have pretty much the same haircut. The bangs at the front.
Yeah, and also wild.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, messy red hair, don't get me started. Oh, here we go.
Ugh.
This is your least favourite song in the film, isn't it?
Yes. It's just one of those just shrill, ultra twee songs. It's just please stop. It's some people can get away with this. Some people can't.
Uh-huh.
This is one of those situations where no.
Alright, let's get some voice acting trivia so I can mask this for Richie. Let's have a look here. Scrolling down. Natalie Gregory plays Jennifer Foxworth, by the way, a kind-hearted rich girl who adopts Oliver. Her singing voice is Mihan Tran.
I'm glad you tried to pronounce that rather than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those where it's just like, it's very much the Castle in the Cloud from Les Mis. So that's the one that young Cosette sings, and it's really shrill, and it's just like, I have a castle in the...
Yeah, okay, yeah. Took me a minute.
Yeah, and it's just like, please shut up. Ears are bleeding right now.
No, your dad dies at the end anyway, you little shit. Sorry, spoilers.
You would have been better off saying her mother dies.
Yeah, whatever. Her adopted father dies as well. Everyone's dying. Fuck you, Cosette.
Well, I mean, that is basically Les Mis. Everyone dies.
Everyone is miserable. The miserable. This is all very fun and charming. And then you cut back to, like, Sykes and the Dobermans and, like, holy shit, tone it down a notch. Oh, Oliver's getting the rich person treatment now, and he looks good with that collar.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly, they just had to match it. Although they went with contrasting colours.
Uh-huh.
Makes it stand out a bit more.
Yeah, makes it pop.
Yes.
And, Jenny and Oliver do look good together, so I'll give them that.
Well, I mean, I would hope so. They've been specifically designed to be a unit.
When your kitten starts to, like, sleep in your room from time to time, it's so adorable. And then when they scream in the middle of the night because they need to go out and shit, that's a good point. I'm speaking from experience. I
find it hilarious because my sister is now a cat lady. So she moved in with her boyfriend, and he had a cat, and now the cat is hers.
I just like the idea, and no offence to your sister or anything, I'm like, the minute she moves in, she sees a cat, and her eyes just go wide. Oh god, the virus has spread to the system. I will now become cat woman.
Yeah. So now it's all about cats.
Oh yeah. Why not, man? Cats are awesome.
I think I'm more of a dog person myself, but...
You think you'd like Oliver and Company more, then? Actually, my favourite Disney film is 101 Dalmatians, where the woman wants to kill the dogs. I think you'll find, Tom.
I mean, of this sort of era, probably. I mean, obviously, no, my favourite is probably Robin Hood of this era.
It's dope, man. You gotta rep the Nottingham Pride, as we so plainly showed earlier in the marathon. Oh god, they're getting tracks everywhere, the plebeians.
I know, and it's just sending my cleanliness filters going just like, clean it up, dirt.
There's a lot of good, like, shots in this movie. I think it would be better, well, not still, because a still image movie doesn't really make for a good kind of viewing experience, but, like, the overhead shots of, like, New York City look amazing. I'm trying to reach a point here. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I think they did a very good job with that. So, I mean, they do end up using computer imagery for the film.
Oh, is this like one of the earliest uses of CGI in a Disney film?
No. So, I mean, it's one of the earlier ones, but unlike Black Cauldron and The Great Mouse Detective, which used computer imagery for special sequences, there's actually 11 minutes of Oliver and Company that were computer generated. Although most of it is in relation to the final climactic sequence. And the rest of it is very obviously traditional animation.
Gotcha.
And...
I love the fact a dog made it into Time magazine. Jesus.
Well, of course she did. She's Georgette.
Ah, who doesn't know Georgette? Oh no, a midget! A midget wants to get it on with me!
And no, also a scraggly midget as well.
Don't doubt the scraggly ones, man. They'll surprise you every time. What an invasion of privacy this is, but then again it's Georgette, so I don't really care.
I know, she deserves it. She was an absolute cow to Oliver. Therefore...
Yes. Don't even need to finish that sentence, I get exactly what you're trying to put across. And, Winston is voiced by William Glover, who does not have a hyperlinked name, so unfortunately I cannot give you his credentials.
I know, which is really annoying. I mean, I'm thinking perhaps we might be able to find him on IMDb. I believe I have. Yes. Excellent.
Nice.
So he's Alfred Wright in the TV series Santa Barbara. Inspector Jeffords in Bring 'Em Back Alive. And nothing that any of us would probably recognise at this point, I would have thought.
If he had a worthwhile list of, hit roles, they would have hyperlinked his name, so...
It's very true.
Damn, Tito, you're in there, my son. You know what? I like Cheech Marin. He makes for an entertaining character.
Oh, he does indeed. And actually, I think there's a little bit on the Wikipedia page about Cheech Marin. So... Because energy proved to be the key to Tito's personality, Marin claimed I was encouraged to ad-lib. But I'd say I just gave about 75% of the lines as they were written. The natural energy of a chihuahua played right into that feeling.
Nice.
And he said that George Scribner was very encouraging as a director. Kept the energy level high at the recording sessions, so obviously it worked.
But I'm glad it had a positive energy behind the scenes, because it does translate to the film itself. It's a very warm and pleasing movie, but it's Doritos are warm and pleasing, but you eat one bag and you're not exactly full, you get what I'm saying?
And also, just looking at this whole casting bit, you know how we were saying about, they did they had a really good thing getting Billy Joel in?
Uh-huh.
Well, the reason that he did it was because it was a Disney movie.
Ah, okay.
And he just had a little girl.
Aww.
So he wanted to do something that his little girl could actually watch and could relate to, because obviously I think a lot of his music is not necessarily suitable for a younger audience. As in, very, very young audience.
Gotcha.
So doing something like this was a way of being like, look, that's Daddy. And that's just really adorable.
Oh, Oliver's been tainted. He's no longer a ragamuffin. He is in fact an upper-class ragamuffin. I'm sorry, Oliver, we can smell the money on you, get out.
I know, also, we can hear the Good Company playing in the background, and we just can't be having that in here.
Who's playing that? Turn it down. Another hard day, eh, Fagin? Oh, they're all hard days. What's some other famous Dom DeLuise roles, mate?
You'll have to bear with me a second.
I'm sorry, I am a constant nuisance in your life.
Oh, good lord, he's been in quite a lot of things.
Dude, DeLuise is the shit.
Funnily enough, you know how I said that the film, Oliver and Company, ended up going up against All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 in 1996?
Yep.
Dom DeLuise was actually in All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 as Itchy Itchiford.
Yep. I've seen both movies, I think.
Yes. He was in Robin Hood Men in Tights as Don Giovanni.
Uh-huh.
He was the voice of Jeremy in The Secret of Nim and The Secret of Nim 2 Timmy to the Rescue.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Less said about the sequel, the better. It's got fucking Eric Idle as a goddamn psychopathic mouse, alright?
He was Tiger in An American Tale.
Oh, classic. That had its anniversary recently.
Yes, it would have done it. It would have turned 30, I think.
Damn, man.
Yes, it would be 30.
That's a great film.
Oh wow, he was also in Toonstruck.
There you go.
which was a video game, PC video game, which really, really twisted. Had
It's a bit like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but a bit like darker and twisted, as Richie said.
Yes, it's got Christopher Lloyd in it, and I have no idea how I was allowed to play that as a child, but I did. I never finished it, but that was certainly a memory I have. And I can't remember. I'm looking to see if there are any other Dom DeLuise films that we'd go, oh, I'm not seeing any at present, but I think we've covered some major ones, really.
For sure. Goodbye, Oliver. You'll no longer be a threat. Goodbye. Oh, they're blackmailing a little girl. What the fuck?
Oh, I do find this quite funny.
Yeah, she's just laughing. What a bitch.
She's just laughing until the point where Jenny's just like, we're going to have to go rescue him, and then she's just like,
yeah. Okay, so Fagin's practicing his little scam. He's trying to scam the scammer, essentially.
Yeah, like, that's gonna bloody work.
Yeah, there's a security camera there. You could have been watching there.
Yes, it's just like, you'd at least do this further away, but then again, Fagin's not the sharpest tool in the boat shed.
Oh, Jesus, he doesn't do well in close-ups. So who voices, Sykes, mate?
Yes, this is... Oh, who voices Sykes?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just like, is this Sykes? I thought you said, is this Sykes? I'm just like, yes.
I'm paying attention,
Sykes.
believe it or not.
So Sykes is voiced by Salvatore Robert Loggia, who's done lots of Academy Award nominated things. Let's see if I can find anything that looks like we would recognise it. Because unfortunately, sometimes you look at these things and you're just like, that's a lot of excellent films, but I'm just like, Oh, so he was actually retired General and former 43rd President William Gray in Independence Day Resurgence, and that was a posthumous release, so he has unfortunately passed away.
Time, you're a cruel, cruel bitch.
I'm looking at this and not really recognising anything, which is a shame, because there's a lot of films on here and a lot of TV. But so he was Feech LaManna in The Sopranos. He was nothing that I think people would necessarily recognise, though he did win the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor in Big.
That's the Tom Hanks movie, right?
I believe so, yes.
This bit's still pretty dark to say they went with a more, like, comfy sort of feel for the final release.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's... So this is part of Oliver being a little bit disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the quite sad start, then it gets really, really ridiculously peppy,
Mm-hmm.
and then it gets really sappy, and then it just goes really dark. And there's no real leap between the sequences. It's just sort of... It's almost like emotional whiplash, but it's not quite that bad.
Or like two versions of the film cut together.
Yes.
What's Georgette gonna do? Try and oh yeah, I'm gonna put on the razzle dazzle and distract him.
Well, I mean, considering
Oh, Mickey Mouse!
Yeah, it's a nice watch. Georgette's a little bit swamped right now to, I think, manage to do anything.
God, culture shock. Oh, I gotta go where the poor people reside. Oh, Jesus. Fucking Fagin, I swear to God.
I know, it's just like, you want him to be at least competent, and he just simply isn't. Like, considering the Fagin that we all recognise as a cultural figure, this Fagin's quite a disappointment. I mean, he's a lovely character in this film.
Yeah, well, any character played by Dom DeLuise is,
Yeah, I mean, he is essentially the comic relief for the film, and he's not really a villain, he's more of an anti-hero, if anything. And even that's being a little bit generous in the terminology. I suppose when you've got Sykes like this, you've got more than enough villain.
Well, I suppose they did that to contrast the two, with the nice but bumbling Fagin, and with the nasty and completely on-point Sykes.
Yes.
Oh no, you can't fight a crying little girl, it's just not done.
Yeah, and as annoying as that song was, you kinda can't do much against a crying little girl. You're just like, she's too cute to know.
Even now, with my foot in this bucket, I feel like a fool. Oh, was that a flash of empathy from Georgette back there?
Well, yeah, because as much of a bitch as she is, she does care about Jenny.
Well, Jenny...
She cares about herself more, but that's not the point.
Oh, Fagin. Come on, do it. Show some empathy yourself. Ah, okay.
That's one way of going about it.
Yeah, that way he doesn't have to admit responsibility. Oliver, how did you get all the way to the docks? The one line that would have broken Fagin completely.
I know, and also, I like how Jenny doesn't... Well, she's a young girl. Of course she's not going to put two and two together. It's just like, clearly, Fagin's the one who did it. How the hell did he find the cat? Just sitting in a box, randomly, at the place where you were told to go for the...
Okay, Richie, we get it. Oh god, we are entering the final act. Rescue Jenny. Dun-dun!
This is the point of the film where you're just like, I literally have no idea what's going on, because it's just going to cut really randomly between things.
I'm watching. Take a sip every time it cuts.
It's like, as a sequence, it's very poorly edited. When you're a kid, you don't notice these things. You don't care. You're watching dogs do funny things and save the day, and it's adorable and lovely, and you love it. The second you get older, you start going, wait, what?
Hang on a tick. That scene went to that scene and it wasn't fluid.
Yes.
I call bullshit. Okay, that's pretty funny.
I realise we've not actually talked about the actors for Roscoe and DeSoto.
Mm-hmm.
So, Roscoe is voiced by Torian Black, who's best known for his role as Detective Neil Washington on the series Hill Street Blues.
I recognise the name, I've never watched it.
And also, apparently, he was the lead, or a lead role in Deep Star 6.
Uh-huh.
But that's sort of it. And then DeSoto is voiced by Carl Weintraub, who is in a few things.
I want an all-animal version of Law and Order, I realise. I don't know why, just those names in particular, even though they're not from the series, just reminds me of them. You ever watch Law and Order?
I think I might have watched 1 or 2 episodes, perhaps.
Ah, but what series was it? Because everyone knows Special Victims Unit is the best one.
As if I'd be able to tell you that.
I mean,
I can barely remember whether I've actually watched an episode, let alone what bloody series it was.
Yeah, Tom, I may be an encyclopedia, but only for the things I care about. So what did you think of, like, the finale as a whole? We've talked about, like, editing and pacing and whatnot, but what about the resolution of the film?
I suppose it's about as it finishes as it begins in a slightly messy fashion. Like, it does the job. It's an enjoyable film, it's an enjoyable climax, but from a critical perspective, this finale is a bit of a mess and a bit of a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. It jumps between certain situations like nobody's business, and, like, there are massive leaps in logic and all that jazz. So, from a technical standpoint, it's an abysmal finale, but you don't really necessarily watch it for that, so it kind of just about gets away with it. Just.
God, I'm gonna have to get some, like, robo-dogs or something. Can't get anything right. Fucking Francis.
I know, it's just like, seriously, you're trying to break the little girl after being ransomed for money. Why the hell are you watching ballet?
Also, Sykes is a legitimate business owner in massive quotation marks. How's he, like, gonna get away with this in the long run?
Also, why does he own this seemingly abandoned warehouse?
Well, this is the shipping centre, so I guess it's just like, well, it's after dark, I guess all the workers have gone home.
Yeah, but it seems rather in disrepair, shall we say.
Well, it's not a very good shipping centre.
No, and yet he's making loads of bank, so...
Well, I see what you mean about, like, the cuts. Well, Jesus Christ, calm down.
It's just like, where is all this crap coming from?
And so he pulls out the gun and shoots them dead at the end. I guess not, okay.
No, Fagin comes in and saves the day on his scooter.
The hobo-mobile, away!
They were just inside, and now they're on a road.
Yeah, I've never noticed that before.
Yeah, it's only when I rewatched the film a few months ago, I was just like, wait a minute. Have I just missed something? Has my Blu-ray skipped? No, it hasn't. This is literally the film.
I like this better when it was called 101 Dalmatians. Oh, come on. Come on. This is ridiculous.
It's completely ludicrous. It makes no sense.
Also, why does Sykes care so much? He's still got money at the end of the day. What, does he just want more money? Well, yeah, I suppose I answered my own question, though.
Yeah, but it's just like... Does he seriously want revenge on Fagin this badly?
Yeah, some fucking random hobo that he's dealt with a few times.
Yeah, it's just like... Would you be really willing to risk death?
Yes, because I'm a Disney villain.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I do like the rather dark or dramatic sting of the first song playing in the background.
Once Upon a Time in New York City. It is quite a nice... I do like that bit. But, yeah, that's freaking dark.
Did a dog just die?
A dog just died.
Damn, man.
I don't think... Well, 2 dogs have just died now.
Well, they were Dobermans, fuck them. Please note, I have nothing against real Dobermans, only the animated evil ones.
Also, this is one of the sequences that's very obviously done in CGI. Very obviously.
Did Oliver and Company ever have a video game? Because I'm thinking, if there was one, this would make for a rather sick finale.
It makes no sense. None of the end of this movie makes any sense.
Huh, turns out there was an Oliver and Company video game for, like, the Amiga and MS-DOS. The MS-DOS one does have, like, midified tunes of Why Should I Worry and so on. They both look actually pretty good graphically, I gotta say, which is more than I can say for Sykes, who just got fucking turned into a pancake. Well, I guess that's what happens to you when you're a Disney villain. Bye-bye! Jesus Christ, I'm getting vertigo right now. I would not want to be on that hobo-mobile when there's a friggin' twitchy chihuahua backing it up.
Aw, Oliver.
No! Is he dead? Is the hero of our film dead?
It's a Disney film, what do you freaking think?
No, of course not. Stop looking sad, Dodger. A little milk, some wet food, it'll be right as rain again.
Yeah, or, just use your healing tears and see, oh, you don't even need that. It was just a little bit pooped.
Well, you would be if you went through what he just did.
He's a tiny little kitten.
And now we get the stirring reprise of Jenny's theme. Jesus Christ, Georgette. So, we're coming to the end of Oliver and Company now, mate. Have you had a good time?
I have, yes. It's a messy film. It's certainly nowhere near perfect. You're talking about low to mid-tier Disney here. But it is quite cute. There's some nice songs in here. It's pretty fun, I suppose.
Disjointed but fun.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's watchable. It's very watchable.
And, it's got Billy Joel in it, so you can't go wrong.
Well, exactly, yes.
I like the fact that Fagin and Winston are bonding over the boxing.
It's like, you see, class doesn't really matter at the end of the day, except it totally does.
Yeah, we're all hobos at heart, really. Some of us more hobo-y than others. Okay, so Jenny's parents are coming home. What were they doing exactly? Off being rich, collecting more jewels?
Essentially, yes. I think it's a business trip of some description. They're away doing something or other. It's not really ever fully explained, I don't think.
Don't accept gifts from hobos.
Yes, probably not the best lesson to learn.
Or at the very least, wash them first before you handle them.
Yeah, because those are going to be ridiculously germ-ridden. I mean, he's also going to be ridiculously germ-ridden because he hasn't washed in years.
Oh, he's a Disney vagrant. They're different. They're a higher class of vagrant. Jesus. Alright, guys, I'll talk to you later. I have to go have sex with this purebreed. Bye. And Tito did not survive the night. Well, no, that was the key word. I'm out of this bitch. See ya.
Now, I have to say, I do love the last moments of this film, because really, it's a really awesome reprise of the best song in the film.
Yeah. It's sort of like Pocahontas in that regard. Although I think Pocahontas is a better constructed movie overall. Yes. The finale is really good. The finale, the ending moments.
Yes, I mean it's just one of those iconic moments. And also just, you can't not love Why Should I Worry? It's one of those great Disney songs.
As for me, I enjoyed Oliver and Company, but it's not the most interesting film ever. But again, it's one of those films that you young'uns will probably love. And again, Billy Joel, how can you go wrong? So put it on, have a fun time. Maybe you want a couple of schmucks talking over it. Who knows? We've got everything for you here at HFC, guys. Alright, we shall see you tomorrow for another second Disneython commentary. Enjoy the rest of this Billy Joel goodness. Bye for now.